Five new suspects have been arrested in connection with the Louvre heist that shocked the world just a few weeks ago, and that makes the total number of arrests of this heist up to seven so far. Which of the five new suspects, one of which is believed to have been part of the four-man gang who carried out the heist, the name Lor Bacau. Bacau? Oh, that's a hard last name, and I don't
It,
speak
it,
enough French for that.
it's French. It's just vowels, vowels everywhere.
But this came that after love a good pop up. This came out after an 11-day manhunt. The police have arrested three of the four that they believe directly participated in the heist, though they haven't been able to uncover any of the looted jewels worth over $100 million.
Yeah, yeah. The the artifacts are still in the wind, which is very unfortunate. What's happening now is with a lot of these things with law enforcement chasing down these art and jewel thieves is you'll catch up to the people who actually pull off the heist, and by the time you do that, the people they'll have passed the artifacts along for someone else to sell or dismantle or fence whatever it is they're going to do with them. In this case, likely dismantle and sell for parts. Um, and so you end up doing this game of trying to run down these dominoes before enough of them topple over that the artifact is lost.
Which
But
is really, really sad. And they estimate the net value of those jewels to be over $100 million. And the arrest took place in the Paris and its surrounding region, including Saint Denis, which the first two suspects were arrested last weekend, just as one was reported trying to flee to Algeria. So they know they're on the run, and they know that the police are coming for them.
yeah,
And this is the insane part: is they partially admitted their involvement following 96 hours of questioning.
yeah, yeah. Um, Fun fact about the French judicial system: once they know it's you, it's not friendly. It's some very intense interrogation style there in France. Yeah, yeah, this is a it's a very unfortunate event, but it is fun. It is fun. It is nice to see that law enforcement is catching up to these people. That this isn't some bullshit. Oh, look, they got away because you know we were stupid and didn't have cameras on our second floor exterior.
What's interesting too is how they managed to track down the first two suspects. The first one is an Algerian that had prior traffic related offenses and was recovered from DNA recovered identified through DNA recovered from one of the scooters. And the second suspect is an illegal taxi driver and delivery driver born in a suburb of Paris and had previously been involved in aggravated theft, and his DNA was located on a piece of the broken display case.
Yep, yep.
So they're
As
using DNA and hunting these people down, but also, how is one an illegal taxi driver and delivery driver?
that's pretty. I think that's pretty simple. Um, you're not legally supposed to be here, and or you don't legally have a driver's license.
Well, they were born
But
in France, so I'm assuming he's a citizen.
but yeah, so probably you have no license, and you're just you're just running a taxi on the side kind of thing. Under the tables either for the taxi company or doing your own knockoff version of Uber without any of the corporate fees.
I guess it is possible too that France doesn't have any birthright citizenship, so I'm not
I
sure.
don't know.
But
I don't know how France works.
this is interesting because the Louvre heist is one of the biggest jewel heists of the 21st century and definitely of recent memory. And now technology is getting so good that we're able to identify people based off of tiny little prints left at the scene. But I do genuinely wonder where the actual items have gone. Were they melted down? Were they destroyed for parts? Are they sold to a bidder who wanted to retain the historical value and just wanted the jewels themselves? That is the question that I'm curious to answer, that I'm sure the police are currently tracking down, because for France as a whole and France as a country, this is an embarrassment on all levels. So they're more than determined to try and save face and try to rectify this and try to identify and go after everyone. Like, this is manhunt level.
Yeah, yeah. The Pink Panther is not quite as funny anymore
Do do
as
do
it used
do
to be.
do 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 do
I'm
do.
just saying, a national treasure diamond is stolen in the middle of a very public area, and France's only hope is a clueless idiot.
Well, this is where I might have watched too much TV, but the TV show White Collar, I think of when I think of this theft and this crime, because I think of the like whole having a fence to help pawn off the item, having a bidder already lined up when the crime is committed, because this is high dollar amount. This is not a petty crime, and with how coordinated everything's been, I'm curious to really see what ends up shaking out as this unfolds,
Yeah,
because we are going to hear more about this. There will be additional updates. We're not going to go gentle into that good night, but I
yeah,
just
no,
hope that the answer isn't the really sad and depressing one.
yeah, no, yeah, for sure, for sure. And we are coming at you a little behind the curve. We are providing the updates based on our last update on this. So there is definitely going to be more segments on this coming, and hopefully it leads to a happy ending, or at the very least, a angry righteous one.
I mean, at the very least, what I hope happens is if the jewels were destroyed, that France really does make and set the example of how these criminals should be treated and the appropriate sentences be doled out, because as much as people love the idea of Robin Hood, of stealing from the rich and giving to the poor, when it comes to history and historical items, they are absolutely finite. They are some of the rarest items in the world because there are no duplicates, there are no secondaries, there are no actual authentic recreations.
Yeah, this isn't some Wall Street bankers, slush fund you drained. This is a national treasure and a cultural monument that technically belongs to every single person.
It's just it's sad to see an institution targeted, while we're actively and openly critiquing a lot of institutions for bad policy or bad politicking. You never want to see a museum blatantly robbed in open daylight, especially of such high dollar value, because the likelihood of it being recovered, I think they said after the first 5 days there's like an 80 or 90% chance that the items are just gone.
Yeah, because the thieves don't really sit around on it and talk. They have a plan for what they need to do once they get it.
And people to get it to someone who could do the work, etc., etc.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I think that's a great point for us to wrap up the update on this heist. We'll come back to you with a third part as soon as one gets published. But we
yeah.
will see you guys in the next one.